They were Miami was tremendous. They played a phenomenal game. They played at an extremely high level, and we obviously didn't play well, and so it was a tough night. Malcolm went out in the first quarter with some soreness in his Achilles. He came down on it and just felt something, went in the back, and it was determined right away that he was going to be unable to return. So we'll keep treating it. We'll keep looking at everything we can look at to try to help this situation be resolved. But it was obviously a big loss, on the floor without having him out there. So just a tough night.
Start in the room. Rick, what made it so difficult to defend the three-point line? I know it's something we talked about coming into this game, and obviously they shot pretty well from behind the arc tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably the best in the league at generating three-point looks, and they have 3 or 4 guys that have an uncanny knack of making really difficult ones. Robinson rises up. Vincent can create them one-on-one. Strus is having a really hot 10 days here. But the bottom line is, you got to make them uncomfortable. You got to be on them the entire time. It was a combination of not getting much traction defensively or offensively. And when you can't get the ball in the hole, it's harder to find three-point shooters. So it was all working against us. We had some stretches that were positive stretches. We were up 5 at the beginning, about halfway through the third quarter, then they hit another streak. And so it was just tough. It was just a tough night. Just a tough night.
And how would you characterize the overall performance of the team tonight? Obviously, you want to come out, you want to play well, but it seemed like it just kind of avalanched after that first quarter.
We struggled. And there were stretches where we were playing hard. We just simply couldn't get anything going. I can't give you a concise analysis of the whole game, but Miami, they took it to a higher gear, and we were just unable to match it. And so it's a disappointing night, no question about it.
And then shooting-wise, I know the starters really kind of struggled from the field. Was it just a matter of missing some shots and/or them playing defense to make it tough for you all to get pretty good looks?
It was a tough night to get good looks. I thought we had a lot of quality three-point looks, particularly in the first half, that we just, for whatever reason, looked like we rushed, and we just didn't get a good stroke on the ball. But it was the kind of night where you take one step forward with something good on offense, and then it seemed like there was 2 steps back with a couple of defensive mistakes, and so it was just difficult the whole night. And there's no excuses, I mean, Malcolm going out is a tough blow for us, but everybody's missing players right now, and so we got to focus on the guys that we have available, and hope we can get him back quickly.
The last one for me. How concerning is it that Malcolm had to, he was out 4 or 5 days with rest and kind of rehab and come back in only 8 minutes?
Yeah, we're obviously concerned. He practiced without issue the last 2 days. We had a shoot around this morning, no issues there. He just drove and came down on it and tweaked it a little bit, I guess. I don't know the severity, but we'll get it looked at tomorrow again. I'm sure Doc will look at it, and then we'll see what's what. And we're just gonna have to scramble in his absence. And Brad's gonna, he did a great job in the Detroit game. Caris has got to play some point, and from there, we'll have to get creative if something happens with fouls or one of those guys. So, but I didn't want to get into that discussion.
Pat Boylan, go ahead. Rick, you guys were able to get to the free throw line a decent amount tonight. You were able to do it early, and that's usually a good sign offensively. Why do you sense that didn't necessarily tonight translate into a good offensive night?
Well, it's hard to trade twos for threes, and that was kind of where it was at. You know, we made our first two shots. We're up 4-0. They made their first two shots, and they're up 6-4. You know, and it's the quantum power of the 3-point shot. And again, I thought we generated some good ones in the first half and had some tough luck with them. But look, from a process standpoint, we got to keep doing that. And look, it was just a tough night. You know, Caris goes 4 for 15. They were paying a lot of attention to him and swarming him all night. They swarmed Domas all night. And so, you know, it was tough out there.
Scott Agnes, go ahead.
Rick, on a night when things really didn't go well in any department, where do you start with the team? What is the discussion like, either at halftime or post-game, about what you're watching?
Well, we've just got to be a team that's playing at full capacity all the time, and we have very slim margins for error, so everything's got to be on point. You know, that obviously was not the case in the first half, and for you know at least the third quarter. The fourth quarter, we did some better things. We just got to stay at it. You know, we just got to stay at it. I'm not going to make excuses. You know, this is a tough league, and everybody's going through something right now. We just got to be better.
Scott, did you have another one? Tony East, go ahead.
Rick, you guys actually shot under 40% from two-point range today, which is one of your lower two-point percentages of the season. What did you see that the Heat were doing so well that forced you guys to miss inside the arc so often in this one?
Well, you know, we had a kind of a rash of turnovers in the first half. We had a good overall turnover number. It was 12, you know, which is good. But it was I thought it was a combination of some tough luck around the rim. You know, on finishes, and there were times when we were hitting the pocket, but then they were getting in there with activity and knocking the ball loose, and untimely turnovers contributed to a lot of challenges tonight. So, you know, it's just it's a frustrating night. And look, 11 for 31 is 36% for three. Which is not a bad number, but you know, 45% on 49 threes for them is the difference in the game.
Caris, how would you characterize this loss and just the way it kind of unfolded tonight?
I think it was pretty evident. They just played better than we did from start to finish. I don't think you have to be a basketball analysis to see that. I feel like everybody saw what happened. You know, they played better than us from start to finish. Period.
Do you are there specific reasons or areas that you look at and say like that's why they were better than us tonight?
We didn't stop their 3-point shooting. I think they hit how many threes they hit? 22 threes. 2 hour. I don't know. That was a big part of the game. They hit way more threes than we did. Shot a way better percentage than we did. What did we shoot? 35% from the floor. Not going to win games in the NBA like that. They played harder than us. They were better than us in every facet of the game.
How do you swallow this one knowing you talked about where Detroit came out and you responded to that and got the win. Miami was shorthanded a few weeks ago. They're shorthanded tonight. They come out and get the win. So how do you swallow that one knowing that you had another shot at it and wasn't able to get it done?
Shorthanded or not, it's NBA players. I think that needs to be said. Those guys play extremely hard. They're very deserving of their minutes. And they played well tonight. They played better than we did. So regardless of who's out there playing against the Miami Heat, you know what comes with that. And you know what type of players that they have on their team. So regardless of who they had out, they just played better than we did from start to finish.
And defensively, what made it so difficult to score? I know you were 5-15. The A lot of people struggled to score against them. It was a good defense performance for them. So what made it so hard?
The zone, we couldn't figure the zone out. I think we didn't make any adjustments throughout the game. We couldn't get the ball to the middle. And then when we did get good looks, we didn't knock them down. I think the zone just kind of stifled us. It did last time we played them as well. We just couldn't figure it out.
Pat Boylan, go ahead.
Caris, Rick said before the game, one of the keys to attacking that Miami zone is to kind of keep it simple and not overthink it. Could it be a case of maybe overthinking the Miami zone?
I don't know if I would say that tonight. I don't know if we overthought it. I just don't think we executed as well as we would have liked. Usually when there's a zone like that, you want to overload it. You want to get it to the middle. You want to spray out to shooters. We didn't make any adjustments. We didn't do that. We kind of had a 2-guard front. We set up pick and roll sometimes. We got it to the middle sometimes, but we were never decisive on what we wanted to do. And we didn't execute it, so they stayed in it all game. It's kind of rare that you see an NBA team stay in a zone the whole game without a team figuring it out, and we just never figured it out.
Scott Agnes, go ahead.
Caris, how do you explain their three-point shooting? You guys talked the last couple of days about defending the three. We remember what they did last time. What led to just them getting frequent, really good looks? Part of it was obviously they were knocking someone down.
Yeah, I think we were in scramble. We were scrambling all night, and they, I think they hit their first couple, and that just gives them a whole bunch of confidence. And they got good shooters. They spaced the floor very well, and they got a lot of confidence. Their coach gives them a lot of confidence, and they knock them down.
Pat Boylan, did you have another one?
Caris, you guys the last couple of years have been a pretty good team when you've had multiple days of rest. Any added frustration that this one comes after a 4-day period without playing?
Yeah, I think it's frustrating. If this was a back-to-back, I think it would be frustrating. In some cases, you want to play, more frequently to stay in rhythm. That's not any excuse or any reason why we, came out the way we did. But I think as far as frustration goes, I think we would be, frustrated if we had just played yesterday as well. We just didn't play well.
Domantas, how do you characterize this loss tonight and this kind of way it unfolded?
I feel like we didn't come out with the energy that we needed to play today. We had a tough night shooting, and that hurt, and then it just all added up.
Is there a specific reason? Because I was asking Caris the same thing. He's like, they just played harder, they played better. Is there like a reason why you all weren't able to generate more energy or better play after having 2 days off?
I wish I knew. They came out aggressive. They kind of knocked us out of our rhythm, and on offense, I feel like we were a bit confused or didn't know what to do, when they were pressuring us, and we need to get into better action and better looks to set up our teammates.
And I guess where does the team go from here? I know throughout the game they're just draining threes, which can be taxing. So as a team, how do you pull together or lean on each other and try to rally from this?
We can only stay together. It's tough, especially a game like this. They keep hitting threes, everything. It's easy to go your own separate way and then just break apart. But we're all great guys in the locker room. We want to make this work, and we just got to keep fighting.
Was that the conversation after the game, or did anybody say anything, or I guess?
Yeah, of course. There was a lot of time. I feel like in the game, we were on the bench. A lot of us talked individually, but we just got to stick together. Now it would be easy to just go our separate ways and think about yourself or whatever, and not try. But I have confidence in all the guys here. They're all great guys. We all want to make it work. So.
Pat Boylan, go ahead.
Domas, Rick said before the game, one of the keys to the Miami zone is to not overthink it, to keep things simple. Is it possible there was a little overthinking going on tonight?
I don't think it was overthinking. I just think we just had to play. We just had to play like different sets. Get the ball in the right areas. And play with confidence.
Manolo.
Sabonis, es un juego bien difícil para ustedes. Tú eres un líder dentro de la cancha. ¿Qué fue lo que se habló luego de esta derrota tan fuerte para ustedes en el camerino?
Tenemos que seguir juntos, ¿sabes? Tenemos que apoyarnos, seguir juntos, porque es un año muy largo y si empezamos ahora todos a separarnos y pensar en nuestro mismo, va a ser un año muy largo.
Thank you.
Leonardo.
Domantas, te saluda Leonardo Torres desde Perú, espero que estés bien. Domantas, luego de haber jugado más de 30 partidos en esta temporada, ¿cuál es el objetivo de Indiana Pacers?
El objetivo sigue igual, tenemos que mejorar. No ha salido el año como queríamos, pero sabemos que estamos muy cerca. Hemos perdido muchos partidos de una posesión y al final, ¿sabes? Cuando muchos partidos pasa eso, miras que somos 13 y 19, pues afecta, pero tenemos que seguir juntos.